Hello, welcome again to Design and Code with Paul. Today we'll be looking at grid settings and grid system rather on our Figma. Uh, So grid system initially is the way you set up your design when you intend to work on any project. With the grid system, it's easier to design based on what you're looking at because it makes you work smarter and faster designing. With the clipping aspect or dragging your component, which easily clips to the settings you're working on, makes it cool when we're designing. So the first thing we'll do, we'll be looking at the desktop settings for this. I have to pick up a frame. So we'll be looking at a desktop 1440 by 1020 as a initial one. So definitely for you to set up your grid system, you have to firstly make this active, then click on this plus icon on your layout grid. Then on the grid, click on the layout grid settings. Then under here, click on columns. Then on the desktop aspect, let's work with rough count. Then on the margin, let's work with, I'll be working with 96. Then on this, make this stretch. Then my gutter, I'll be working with 24. So this is how the settings will look at initially first. Then I have to work both vertical and horizontally to set this up. So we have to set up the next one. Next one now, we still come over to the layout grid, click on the plus icon, click on grid settings. On this grid now, we have to click on rows. Over here now, just for this sample, I'll be making use of 1000 counts just to cover a bit of the screen for the design. Then I set this to top. Then my height remain 8. Also my gutter remain 0. So once I click this, you can see there's vertical and horizontal line. So if I zoom in, you'll see that clearly. So next thing we'll do also, we check the nudge settings area also, because I'll be working with 8 grid points with this, but that will be another topic later. I'll come over to this icon, Figma icon, under preferences, then nudge amount. So initially my nudge amount for my small nudge is set to 1 and my big nudge is set to 8. So let's check this out. So let me pick a frame, a rectangle, then let me drag. You can see it easily clips based on the settings. So let me bring up another section. Let's just imagine this is an arrow section. You can see. So let's just imagine this is an arrow section. So I'll make the background a bit darker so we can differentiate that. So also let's create some few components, a rectangle component. So let's see distance. I'll make it 64. Okay, so I can duplicate this. You can see I'm making use of my gutter because I set that initially to 24, so it's easier for me to drag that and it clips easily. So let me take off this grid settings, then see how it looks. So initially everything looks okay from these settings. So we can, from the nudge aspect, let's look at the nudge aspect and let's zoom in a bit. The nudge aspect gives me the advantage to, like, whenever I'm moving, clicking down or clicking up, the steps I'm taking is just one count out of the nudge aspect. So when I hold on shift and click down, it jumps 8 times the ones I'm click or when I click down, so you can see it's easier to move that way. So also we'll be doing the same settings for our iPad and also on our smaller phone. So what I'll need to do, I also have to click on my frame again. Then now target the tablet. We're looking at iPad Pro 11 as our settings. So what we'll do is I have to also copy the settings I add here over to this section. So this is how you do it. Make sure you make this frame active first, then come over to layout grid. Just click by that side. You can see where my mouse is placed. Then hold down on shift, click on the second one, then use Control C to copy on a Mac or Command C. Then make this active, then paste Control V or Command V. But now my settings look terrible on this aspect. So what I'll do, I say this still active, then I come down to the column section. I click that and I set this to 8 count. Then I reduce this to 64. This is just my normal settings. You can play with the settings when it comes to yours. So you can see we have the settings set now on this, so I can still design with this. So let's check out the one for our mobile phones. Then I'll be making use of the latest one on Figma for now is iPhone 13 Pro Max. So I do the same thing I did over at this iPad section. Click over here, hold down shift, click, then control copy, make this active, paste double. Now I'll be making use of 4 counts for this. Make 4, then I reduce this to 32. These are just my own initial settings just for this. So you can see I have already done the grid settings for my smaller screen, my medium screen, and the larger screen. So let me just take off this grid settings. You see how it looks like initially. So let's just play a bit with this section. So I make use of a frame. Let me just drag out this. Then I increase this. I just want to check out some hints. Say 32, and over here also 32. Just look. So that's we have that there. So just initially, let's just see how something might come up from this. Let's see if I can duplicate this. Okay, let me leave out this. Then let me just see what I can give to this and make it repeat this. Then let me just bring out the text section. Just let's say we love to design. So initially, this is not a design setup. I'm just trying to let you see how it works. So text, let's still leave it at inner. So let me break this up. And 64 regular, make it a bit bold. Let me center this, reduce this, duplicate this, reduce the normal, then say 16. Let me keep 24 and stretch this out. This is an example. stretch this out. Then I reduce this just a bit. This I don't want to make use of dark brown, black. So I can just give that to that. So let's just create an icon for our button. I'll copy this. How to send this to the back. Copy our button. I just say click me. So set this up this way. Then you can let me just give this and this a bit of white. I'll make it, let's increase this by 28 and make it bit medium, then creeps this a bit. I just make use of a circle, say make it full round. So let me take off, can just reduce this to 56 size books. So let me give this fully round. So this is an example. So I can easily move in, then when I move, it's easier to move. It clips immediately I move 8 steps upward or downward. So I can have it this way. Sorry for that. So initially I can just have these settings this way. So let me just bring this down a bit. So voila. So with these grid settings, you can easily work with your design depending on how you want to set up. So we call it a day. Thank you. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll really love to see you people subscribe to my channel. Thank you once again. Bye for now.